My God. Oh, Loki power. The what if that you suggested after looking up all this shit for this freaking what if? Like, guys, I know about anime, but I don't know about every single anime in the freaking book. And whenever I research up shit for a freaking what if, so that I know the shit, and I see the kind of shit that I saw whenever I was researching the anti-spiral from Dangan Gurren Lagann. Woo! That's. I'm sure this isn't everything that it can do, but Jesus, or they, because it's like a collective consciousness, I think. But just to name a few things, basically, seeing as there was a bunch of omnis there, like omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, or whatever the frick, basically knows everything, present everywhere at the same time, unlimited power, able to do anything. Now this unlimited power, able to do anything, I think is the omnipotent part. And it's like nigh omnipotent, so it's like nigh omnipotent. I think that's what omnipotent is. Oh, and trait replication. Like spiral traits. So basically trait replication, because it can replicate spiral traits. And universal and multiversal creation and destruction, because it can create and destroy universes and multiverses. I didn't even spell mind right. I did. Oh, I'm a dumbass. All aboard the dumbass train. Basically, mind, power, reality, soul, space, time, and probability manipulation. And did you get all that? Mind, power, reality, soul, space, time, and probability manipulation. Because it can manipulate all those things. This one dude, the anti-spiral, this one mofo can do all that. Plus the before-mentioned stuff. Like, that is absolute freaking cray-cray. And now about the whole trait replication thing, I'm actually going to find a way to make it to where it can still be done, even though in the world of Naruto, there aren't any spirals. There aren't any spirals. It's gonna be like an altered version of the, spiral trait replication. It's gonna, like, be an altered version of that to, like, suit the Naruto universe. I mean, the way I'm gonna have the anti-spiral be integrated into this, because basically Loki power means your Loki power. Basically, dude named Loki, mother duck. Annoying. Shut up. Stupid. Never mind. The way I'm going to do this is basically Mr. Loki Power here. Yes, that's his YouTube name, Loki Power. He basically suggested to me from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, the anti-spiral. What if Naruto was the anti-spiral? Basically. And he also said there's like a long name for an anime, and yes, it is. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Which technically, it's just Gurren Lagann actually. At least from whenever I was looking up the opening. It just said Gurren Lagann, not Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. But, you know, I've seen other sources where the full name is spread out. It must be like a Japanese thing, like the Americans just call it Gurren Lagann, and freaking the Japanese call it Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. Good God, tongue twisters everywhere. So, basically, not the anti-spiral species, but the like the OG, like the main man anti-spiral. What if Naruto was the anti-spiral? And you guys may be wondering, like fans of Gurren Lagann may be wondering, yeah, Gurren Lagann and its 27 episodes. Uh, Maybe wondering, like, the anti-spiral is dead. So how? Hey guys, I gotta help you there. It's called reincarnation. Via Haguruma was watching the entire thing. And between Simon and the anti-spiral, yes, he was watching that entire fight. And he's like, this anti-spiral does seem to be useful. Ah, son of a... Basically, it's like, you know, Haguruma and his brother, their mother is Kaguya. Like, if Kaguya ever gets resurrected somehow, you know, the one thing that would be useful is a being like the anti-spiral. Basically, so he decided he was going to basically have the anti-spiral be inside this one child, this prophecy child, this child of prophecy, as Jiraiya said multiple times. Naruto is going to basically be the new anti-spiral. And all because Haguruma was like, just in case my mother, like, our mother gets resurrected. Just in case. Because, you know, you guys, anybody who's watched, you know, Naruto Shippuden all the way through, you guys know what Kaguya is capable of. So, what better way to combat a being like Kaguya than to have something like the freaking anti-spiral? Because after reading off all this shit, I'm pretty sure he could combat Kaguya. So, yeah, that's basically like the, you know, failsafe plan. Like your duck and cover. So, basically, whenever Naruto was born, well, that's the thing. They don't know if Naruto's really alive or not, because he isn't really crying. He's just there. And he has like this deadpan stare at everyone. He's just like cold, soulless eyes. And it's not normal for a baby, so yeah, but they can't really worry about that too much, because then the masked man appears, and, you know, then the whole thing with the Nine Tails happens, and then Minato sealing the Nine Tails, like one half of it inside of Naruto. Basically, the anti-spiral, wouldn't exactly like Kurama, because Kurama's just an asshole, and, well, the anti-spiral doesn't even know where it is. So basically, yes, the anti-spiral and Kurama basic. Actually, no. I'm gonna think of something. Actually, I think I'm thinking of a better idea. Let's have it be where they technically have two kids, one boy and one girl. Because Naruto is going to have a sister, and she's going to inherit the Nine Tails. Well, one half of it. And the sister's name is going to be Nizumi. So yeah, basically Naruto and Nizumi. So yeah, Naruto would inherit the anti-spiral from its resurrection into this world by Hagoromo. You know, Hagoromo doing that. And Nizumi would be the one to inherit the Nine Tails. You know, as they would be growing up, you know, Nizumi would basically get how Naruto was treated, only worse. You know, in like the main canon. Nizumi would constantly always be running home crying, and Naruto would be like, "Who did it?" And Nizumi would be like, "Big brother, I know how you do people who." And Naruto's like, "Do you wrong? They deserve it." And Nizumi's just like, "Fine. It was that, you one guy who, you know, the last time gave him a real big colossal wedgie. You didn't stop there. I mean, I would have thought the wedgie was enough, especially from how high up he was. Thought he was going to get the vertigo." And Naruto was like, "Damn it. Those kids know what they're messing with." And because of the fact that basically the anti-spiral knows everything, Naruto would know about his heritage and know about the fact that his sister has an nine-tailed fox inside of her. Because the anti-spiral knows freaking everything. Or at least he would try to regulate how much of everything he knew to, like, only them for now. Because, you know, Nizumi was like, you know, big brother, it's not really cool that you were always peeking into everybody's business. So Naruto's been doing a little bit of the knowing everything less and less now lately. You know, now here lately. But this is just where, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back. Because this is like the 5th time this week that this guy has been bullying his sister. And the last time he did this, he got a freaking colossal wedgie. He wasn't even able to see Naruto do it. He didn't even know that Naruto was there. And none of his friends did either. And, well, it just so happens that as that one guy and his friends are walking home, Naruto is actually following them in secret. And he's observing. He can see that, oh, they're main branch members of the Hyuga clan. They're main branch members. What do they have to be pissy about? Ugh, they're all disgusting. Like, their weakness disgusts me. And so what Naruto would do is he'd basically just pop straight up in front of him and be like, hey guys, you wanna play? Come on, don't tell me you're scared now. Which these main branch Hyuga member people, they know what happens whenever you get in a fight with Naruto. He has no capacity for mercy. Basically, Naruto in this, he is not a very merciful person. Because Nizumi, is his sister, and you mess with his sister, you're messing with him. And he doesn't like when people mess with him. So, decides screw mercy and, give them what they deserve. Basically, Naruto would be like, well then, you're not going to say anything, then I guess. I'll just have to destroy you. Now, this Shadow Clone Jutsu! Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu! And they're like 100 Shadow Clones. And these guys would be like, wait, what? How? How? And, and, uh, and keep in mind that around this time, Naruto is about 8, and Nizumi is around like 7.5-ish, like, compared to Naruto. So, yeah. Like, they're both 8s, but Naruto is just a freaking genius. He breaks the barrier of genius all the way into, like, super mad lad. Now, sick 'em. Sick 'em. And they just beat the crap out of these Yuga guys. I mean, nothing they can do can stop it. Like, they just keep on coming, one after another. Remember, he made like 100 of these guys. And seeing as he is the anti-spiral, he has like a selective consciousness with every single clone he makes. And so he like can see through all of them, just like the 6 paths of pain. And woo! And this would kind of happen on and off, like, throughout the years, until Naruto would eventually become 13, along with Nizumi, which Mizuki would want Nizumi to fail so they could use the whole Nine-Tailed Fox thing as, like, a way for him to get the scroll. Because, Mizuki is secretly a traitor. And Naruto, seeing as he's the anti-spiral, he basically knows pretty much everything. He can already tell that Mizuki's a traitor, and just gives him that cold death stare look every time that their eyes meet. And he can, like, Mizuki can feel the killing intent off of Naruto. It is like, bah. Like, what the frick did he do to this kid? He's not the one who's the Nine-Tails brat. Whenever he thinks this, Naruto, literally, he increases the amount of killing intent. Because anti-spiral or no, he ain't making fun of his sister, calling her a demon brat. Like, he knows what's inside of his sister, but he doesn't care. He's like, screw you. Like, screw you too. And so basically, whenever Mizumi, like Nizumi, basically failing the test, like she is, like outdoing whatever, and then comes across Mizuki, and Mizuki's about to tell her the thing. That's until he is like getting stabbed repeatedly, like Naruto literally grabs him, teleports him to somewhere where nobody will find his body, and stabs him repeatedly until he dies. And there's so much killing intent coming off of Naruto that Mizuki can't even move. He couldn't even sense where that was coming from. And that's because it wasn't really coming from anywhere, but it was coming from everywhere at once. So no matter what Mizuki would have done, he couldn't have dodged it because it was everywhere at once. Yeah, basically Naruto can already do attacks that attack from everywhere at once so that you can't dodge them. Yeah, Naruto is masterclassing everything. Nizumi is like, why did you do that? And Naruto's like, well, would you like to know the honest answer? And Nizumi's like, well, of course. You know that brothers and sisters aren't supposed to and Naruto's like, lie to each other? Yeah, I know. And Nizumi's like, hey, stop messing with my head. And, well, Naruto's just like, it's not my fault that you haven't been able to, get all chummy with the fox yet, so that it can protect you from mental attacks. And Nizumi's like, you shouldn't actually want to mentally attack your sister. And Naruto's like, not even if it means special training. And Nizumi's like, wait, special training? And Naruto's like, yeah, but we should probably report this to the old man first. Actually, Nizumi would be the one to call him the old man. Basically, Naruto would be like, yeah, but we should probably, report this act of, pretty much treason and total betrayal of, person's own village. over to Lord Third first. And Nizumi's like, oh, you mean the old man? And Naruto would just be like, I really wish you would stop calling him that, Nizumi. And so, as you can probably guess, Naruto's really no nonsense. Well, Nizumi is like really all sorts of nonsense. That's kind of their personalities. They're kind of like the odd couple. Only they're not a couple, they're freaking brother and sister. And in this, Naruto's actually the serious one, as where Nizumi is the one who is the jokester, always, wanting attention. Which her brother will give her attention, both good and bad, because, he's not always happy with the way that Nizumi is. I mean, he understands that she's alone, but, well, not exactly alone, like, at least she has him. But there are some things he just can't accept, like the graffiti. Naruto is just like, really, sis? You do know sooner or later you're gonna have to wash that, right? Wash it off. And Nizumi is just like, Iruka already made me do it. And Naruto's like, wait, so this is new? And Nizumi's like, yeah, actually, I was doing it whenever Mizuki found me. Did you not see it there? And then? And Naruto was like, no, I was paying too much attention on keeping you from doing something you would regret. And making sure that bastard paid with his life. I know about the things that he thinks about you. You're my little nine-tailed ball of fur. And Nizumi would be like, why do you always call me that? I don't have any fur on me. And tails? What? And Naruto's like, oh, nothing. It also helps that Naruto's a very good liar. In this, so yeah, after they report the whole thing about what Mizuki was going to do before Naruto killed his ass, gave him good old-fashioned 69, give him the 69 treatment. Basically, for all their troubles, Lord Third would indeed allow Nizumi to take the exam again. And Yuruku would be like, oh, that's why she's getting another chance. And Naruto would just be looking at Iruka and be like, do you have a problem with that? Pineapple hair? And Iruka's like, pineapple hair? Oh, fair point, but whatever. And actually, the redo, she is able to actually do the stuff. And she's actually pretty good. And that's because for the rest of the amount of time that she was awake, she would be spending time with her brother, and she would want to do that special training. Yes. Naruto would basically be Nizumi's cheat sheet in order to get in to being a genin. And, well, basically, So there would be Naruto, Nizumi, they'd both be there, as they'd basically be waiting to get assigned their team, and Jonin Sensei. Basically, the only ones left would be 4 people, actually. Actually, no, 5. Let's do 5, because I want to do something interesting. As 2 people would leave this one person alone, basically Naruto would have heard a little bit of a thing in between the 3 people. Basically, it was a girl and 2 guys. The girl's name was Tamari, and the guy's name was Kankuro, and the other guy was Gata of the desert. There are apparently transfers from here. You know, from the land of wind all the way to the land of fire. You know, Sunagakure all the way to Konohagakure. Naruto would be wondering, what are they doing here? I guess it can't hurt to meddle in affairs a little bit. And so he would just go up into their whole business, figuring out everything that he wanted to figure out, without them even knowing that he was present. You know, but he's present everywhere, literally. He is present everywhere. He's kind of omnipresent. So, present everywhere at the same time. So there's no way he couldn't be able to do this. And he's nigh omnipotent. Or at least I would say he's nigh omnipotent. But considering the fact that Naruto is an Uzumaki, and his father is the Yellow Flash, well, also Nizumi's father is the Yellow Flash, and also she's an Uzumaki as well. But considering those things, I'm pretty sure that bumps him up to literal omnipotent status. As in, he is literally God Mod. Can literally do anything that he wants. So, yeah. I know that the anti-spiral is supposed to only be nigh omnipotent, but with the buffs that Naruto gets from his heritage, I would consider that be able to bump up the anti-spiral's power quite a lot. Plus the training with the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails in this, that bumps it up too. So yeah, I would need to consider the fact that this is indeed omnipotent. Not nigh omnipotent, omnipotent. So basically, whenever the boy Gaara is left to his lonesome, basically, because the 2, Tamari and Kankuro, already know that they're not going to be in the same team as their little brother. And that worries them. Yeah, basically they were worried, but they weren't exactly showing it in the best way. And that kind of bummed Gaara out. And so they just split before he could have a psychotic breakdown and kill them. Naruto, sensing that, he's like, psychotic. Oh, he's the One-Tails Jinchuriki. And Nizumi, I think I can find you a new friend while we're waiting for our sensei. Lazy-ass mofo. Probably doesn't even care. But I'm not going to look into that. Let's see, the probability that they'll become friends. Oh, I have to alter that indefinitely. That is not a good probability. The way his mental state is, and the way Nizumi is whenever she meets new people, yeah, altering the probability. Yeah, he'd just be thinking this in his head. Yeah, gotta alter that probability. Yeah, probability altered. Now they're definitely gonna be friends. He basically altered the probability that they'll be friends. You know, Gara is indeed lonely. Loneliness is a bitch. So, yeah, I don't think that this probability alteration would be too much of a thorn in anyone's side. And, well, Nizumi actually lets him come inside the room where they were waiting for their sensei. Basically, whenever Gara finally gets comfortable sitting down and everything, and starts to talk with Nizumi, and Gara asks, "Who's that? And who are those two?" Basically pointing over to Sasuke and Sakura whenever he says, "Who are those two?" And basically Nizumi's like, "Oh, that kid over there, he's, and Sakura is just looking at Nizumi like, "Don't you dare." And Naruto would just look at Sakura with, like, cold, dead eyes filled with killing intent that even Sasuke would be able to feel. He would just fold under. Like, what the hell just happened? And then Naruto would just appear in front of Sakura. "Never do that again. That is my sister. You will treat her with respect." And Sakura's like, "Okay, just don't kill me." Yeah, Naruto was like, no nonsense. So, yeah, he basically goes back to his seat, and Gaara's like, "Man, you have a really protective older brother." And Nizumi's just like, "Oh, well, anyways, yeah, but that guy over there is Sasuke, and the pink-haired girl that just folded my brother's awesome power, her name is Sakura. Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno. And we are the Uzumaki siblings. He's Naruto Uzumaki, my big brother by a little bit. And I am Nizumi Uzumaki, the current jailer of the Nine-Tailed Fox. Although, Foxy Loxy over here, and just points to her gut, doesn't really seem to want to talk all that much. Mostly I just hear growls and snoring. Lazy son of a... And then all of a sudden you just hear, "Oh, well, oh my. I did not expect this many people to be left." And, the person who would have walked in the door would be like, um, like, like a walkie-talkie, and be like, "Lord Third, is this right?" And Lord Third would look at the sign-ups, like Hiruzen would look at the sign-ups, and he would be like, "Well, seeing as his siblings won't be able to be with him, I guess you could spare another member." And, Kakashi's like, "Yeah, because it is Kakashi." He's like, "Oh, it usually is a three-man squad, but these two shouldn't be too much of a problem." And Nizumi would tell Gaara about her brother's awesome power, which he calls the anti-spiral. And Gaara's like, anti-spiral? That sounds so cool. And if you guys are wondering why Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro are here, basically after one attack from Shikaku, Rasa, the fourth Kazekage, decided he was way too much, like way too hard to handle. And not knowing that Leaf already had themselves a tailed beast, he was like, Minato buddy, like, could you, take, this, little, my son off my hands for me? And Minato thinking, like, if those two were separated from their brother, it would. And then Ross is like, anything to get him away from the village. Anything. Just, you can take them too, just anything. And that's how Temari, Kankuro, and Gaara got to the Leaf Village. Rasa, basically not knowing that the Leaf already had themselves a Jinchuriki, basically was not exactly in the mood for like several more attacks of the Shikaku. And the dude wasn't the best seal master, so yeah. Basically, the team was assigned Naruto, Nizumi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Gaara. And Gaara would just be like, I'm on the same team as you, Nizumi, and you're on a team with your brother. That's nice. I wonder how your brother is whenever he's not being mysterious. And so, yeah, basically, this whole thing. Whenever they would basically go up to the roof and be asked, like, their names, their hopes, dreams for the future, their likes, their dislikes, their hobbies, Naruto would just say non-applicable. Like, just right off the bat, non-applicable. Like, he has none, except for his name. And his name is Naruto Uzumaki. The one shinobi in this world to have mastered the power known as the anti-spiral. He calls it the anti-spiral jutsu. And, well, Nizumi's like, brother, you're probably weirding them out. Especially Gaara. Don't think he's used to this. And Gaara's like, no, it's fine. Um, uh, basically, like, Nizumi would basically list off everything that Naruto listed off except the name. That would change. Yeah, Nizumi would want to become Hokage, so that she would be finally noticed by someone besides her brother. Stop the dissing and start to respect it, and all that jazz. So Nizumi wants to become Hokage, well, Sakura and Sasuke's things would still be the same. And Gaara, however, his thing, well, he says his name is Gaara of the Desert, and, well, and that, for hobbies, he really doesn't have any. And, things that he likes his teddy bear, as he, rips his teddy bear. And, other things that he likes, he's not quite sure. He doesn't have many things that he can like, whenever he was back in the Land of Wind. Yeah, I guess he does like one person, that being Nizumi, because she was kind to him. And his dislikes, well, he doesn't really have many dislikes, except for people that betray your trust. Because, Yashimaru. And, well, he also has a dislike for his father, because, he kinda, sorta, made it very not good situations. And he also has a dislike for whatever is inside of him, or at least he did. It is until he heard, Nizumi, say about all the benefits of having a tailed beast. And, well, as for dreams, hopes, dreams for the future, well, Gaara says that he actually wants to challenge Nizumi, become rivals. Not only friends, but also rivals. Because, this place has treated him a lot better than, the Land of Wind. And so, if the position of Hokage means what he thinks it means, and what he thinks it means is basically all based off of what Nizumi has said, and what Naruto has corrected her on multiple times. And so Gaara is basically like, hopes, dreams for the future, become a Hokage. And so basically, you have a rivalry there, because Naruto really doesn't give a shit about Sasuke. He doesn't give a shit about Sakura either. He actually kind of hates her a lot for, being the way that she was towards Nizumi, just because, well, this is something that Naruto already knows, Ironclad, for sure, he knows. Nizumi has a crush on Sasuke. However, unlike Sakura and Ino, she's not going to let that distract from her objectives, her goals in life. And, well, she finds Gaara to be a great friend and even greater rival because of that impenetrable sand defense of his. And his ability to just freely mold it however. Basically, Nizumi finding... Jesus. Nizumi finding Sasuke kind of like a crush. Like a one-sided crush, but a crush nonetheless. At least a one-sided crush for now. And as for Gaara, a good friend and an even better rival, seeing as they both want to become Hokage. And Gaara has even, gotten to know the third Hokage. And, Gaara's actually wanted to hear, stuff about the fourth Hokage. Since Gaara doesn't know much about, the Leaf Village history, he wants to know about the fourth, he wants to know about the second, he wants to know about the first. He wants to know about all of them, even about Hiruzen, because apparently he was also known as the Scientist, also known as the God of Shinobi, for his time. And Gaara just is eating all of that up. You'll find that Gaara has a lot more to be happy about now that he is a part of the Leaf Village and no longer a part of the Sand Village. Because the village's customs are different. And so he gets not exactly treated a lot better. He still gets shade thrown at him from the villagers because of the fact that he is also a Jinchuriki. But he's a Jinchuriki of the One Tails. And the One Tail is purely psychotic, like a freaking psychopath. So, yeah. Basically, Kakashi tells them, don't eat breakfast or else they'll puke. And Naruto automatically knows that this is a bunch of bullshit. And, just from that look, Nizumi can already tell that what Naruto is thinking. And so she automatically knows that this is a bunch of bullshit. But she's on the fence on whether she should tell Sakura and Sasuke. She wants to tell Gaara, obviously. I mean, they're friends. They're rivals, but they're also friends. So, I mean, come on. Why not? I mean, he can't perform at his peak performance as a rival to her if he's on an empty stomach. So, she decides that, basically, the next morning, Nizumi would get up actually early and make herself, something of a double-sided breakfast, 2 breakfasts. And, go over to Gaara's place, where Tamari and Kankuro would also be there, and they would be Tamari would answer the door, and Kankuro would just be rubbing his eyes. Tamari would be like, who are you, and what do you want? And Nizumi would just brush past her, knocking her over, and be like, sorry, not sorry! And she would just rush up the stairs. And she would, knock on a door, and, well, who else would open it but Gaara? He would have seemed to have already been getting ready for, the whole mission thing. And Gaara would be like, what are you doing, Nizumi? Didn't you hear what Kakashi-sensei said? And Nizumi's like, yeah, but me and my brother were both able to tell her that was kind of a, ruse. So, I want you to be able to perform at your peak performance, so I decided to pack a double lunch. One for me, one for you. We can have it here. And Tamari and Kankuro, witnessing this act of kindness towards Gaara from this Nizumi girl, and Gaara's like, this food's delicious. And, well, Naruto would have just decided over with Naruto. He would have just decided that the whole peak performance thing. If he has to, he'll have some lunches. Not really lunches, but breakfasts for them too. And Sakura and Sasuke both realize that he's doing this very begrudgingly. Like, he really doesn't want to, but, if they're going to perform at their peak performance, he kinda has to. Because they're too stupid to realize that it was all a freaking logical ruse to make it harder on them. And basically Naruto would just say that him and Nizumi were able to find out about the whole thing. And Nizumi is, taking a double breakfast over to where Gaara lives so that they can have breakfast together. And so after everyone's had their breakfast, they would all be headed towards the area. And this is where I'm going to leave off because I don't know how long. Almost an hour. Anyways, I'll say analysis. This is Dr. Memphis, OUT out of here. Yeah, boys, like, favorite, subscribe, click that little bell. Some in the comment section. I'm a bounce like it's Quidditch. Yeet, broskis. Broska?